I still remember stumbling upon Mewgenics late one night, thinking that I must have been dreaming when reading about it. A cat breeding roguelike made by Edmund McMillen, the creator of classics like Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac. I was intrigued, but also kind of weirded out, but in the best way possible. I soon found myself deep into Boone County, a little town that has definitely seen better days, desperately trying to breed an army of supercats, to send them through space and time, and to eventually save the world. But before that, I need to start at the beginning. You start the game being brought back to life by a mad scientist, who then kicks you out of his lab with one mission in mind: to breed and hoard as many cats as possible, and send them out to do his bidding. At the time, we don't know his motive, but the opportunity to live again and hang out with some cats, why not? But with the way everything seems, from the people you meet to the world itself, it feels like something bigger is going on, and you're in the middle of it all. The core of Mewgenics is raising and breeding cats in your abandoned rundown house. You'll start with a few seemingly normal ones, but eventually end up with some of the best and worst cats you've ever seen. I soon found myself checking each litter for the right stats and traits, looking for mutations and dumping those that I deemed as subpar, fully leaning into the eugenics theme. The more you breed, the more you start to see patterns and possibilities. Sometimes it works beautifully and you feel like a genius, but other times it doesn't work out so well. After assembling your best team of cats, you'll be able to send them out on adventures. By design, the goal is to come out of every run with a story, and these personal stories stack up after each run. And it's your job to connect the dots and interpret the bigger picture from all these little events. What begins as simple alley brawls and enemies like rats and other cats quickly turns into trips to places that genuinely make no sense. But that's the beauty of it. You'll find yourself in graveyards, sewers, and even the moon, seemingly for no reason, but as you explore more and more, things begin to make a bit more sense. The game is split into chapters, unlocking newer areas as you complete the previous levels, leveling up the town's story and your cats. Each act culminates into a dramatic ending that leads you into the next, building up to something. New areas are unlocked, new NPCs show up in town, and the next act of my adventure began, gaining a sense that I was progressing through the story of a town under siege by ever greater evils. Act 1 serves as an introduction to the setting of the game, showing us how the world is and its inhabitants. General locations that tell us that mutant creatures and supercats roam and have taken over many areas around the town, hinting that the scientists and people he recruited or taken heavily impacted the world with their experiments and breeding practices. Going through each chapter felt as if it was a test to show that I could make an even greater impact. My suspicions were confirmed when contacted by Dr. Beanies again, and him giving me a task to help with his greater plans. Act 2 is generally the same, introducing us to more powerful cats that were previously owned by the Doctor and his associates, but going to stranger places like a bunker filled with mutants and cultists, which was a direct consequence of Dr. Beanie's experimentation. The core of the planet is filled with monstrosities and devils, and the strangest of all, going to the moon and fighting a Sumerian demigod. This eventually leads to the Doctor's lab being demolished. He blames this on you and ends the game. But not really, since he quickly gets over it and gives you an additional task: to clear out his lab because he has a way to fix everything. Going through his lab, we find strong genetically modified cats that have broken free due to the collapse. At the end, we find Stacy, which we can only assume is the first cat that started Dr. Beanie's fascination and obsession with perfecting his craft. After clearing out the lab, it's revealed that the method to fix everything was a time machine, one that he states we've been using this whole time, you just don't remember it in this timeline. Going forward, we're tasked with going back to Act 1 and 2 with special items to gain passage to secret areas, which will advance the story. These areas are filled with otherworldly entities that are very McMillen-esque, that give us subtle hints about the world we live in. Long story short, we defeated an immortal being in the throbbing domain, and used his heart as a power source for the time machine. Using the time machine, we go to the past to try to fix everything, using something the Doctor created called the butterfly effect, and destroying everything we could, ending up in the Ice Age as well as the Jurassic period, fighting our way to get back to the present. Talking to Dr. Beanies again, he tells us instead to go find him in the future, transporting us to the future, but not the future he had in mind. This future was ruled over by the Nazi regime, which is very on theme with them practicing extreme eugenics and terrible experimentation. After defeating Hitler too, a distressed Dr. Beanie isn't upset about how Nazis rule the future. He claims they stole his ideas. He tasks us next to go to the end, the furthest future, to see what happens. The end is a setting of the game, The End Is Nigh, with many characters and creatures from the original game. The basis of it is a post-apocalyptic world after a nuclear extinction event, with very little survivors left in the world. Again, we fight back to the present, where Dr. Beanies claims he had no part in ending the world. Rather, everyone will believe it's your fault as a reanimated dead woman with an army of cats that can time travel. His last dialogue here says for you to fix this. To fix it, we go back to a previous act, enlist the help of a kaiju opening a rift, which then prompts a hologram doctor to show up, claiming we can see him through an implant in our head, and that this was all according to his plan. We go through the rift and put a signal amplifier on the final boss in that area, which opens up our final destination, the Infinite, where unsurprisingly we fight God. But defeating him ends up with nothing happening, since he regenerates anyways. We needed something more, something that will destroy every atom, a nuke. We have to go back and defeat eternal and powerful beings to gain parts to help the Doctor build his final weapon. Going back to fight God, in his final phase, we're briefed with a monologue from Dr. Beanies towards God as well as you, the player.
Dear God, you suck. 35 years ago, you took something from me, something that wasn't yours, the soul of my kitten Stacy. And for 35 long years, I've tried to bring her back, rebuilding her from her original DNA 100 times over. But she wasn't Stacy, just something that looked like her. What right do you have to take the one thing in the world from me that I cared for? Stacy was loved, she was needed, we were a team. And you took her from me, and now I take something from you.
He ends with telling you to activate the nuke, which will destroy everything. Refusing his command gives us more information about who we used to be and his motivation for doing this. We are McMillen, the mother of Isaac from the game, The Binding of Isaac. Dr. Beanie says that we need to finish this because God is the one that took Isaac from us. He claims he could have saved him if not from the interference of God, taking away the things that make us who we are. If we keep refusing the task, the Doctor remotely detonates the nuke, simultaneously sending you, as well as himself, in the time machine back to the original place where we met him. We then see a cutscene of Dr. Beanie claiming he saved everyone. But as he's gloating, the time machine stops. Something is messing with the antenna. Beanie goes up to fix it, only to find Steven, a creature that acts as a timekeeper within previous games by the same creators. A battle ensues which ends in the death of Dr. Beanies and rolls credits. The true ending of the game. After credits we see Frank, a parasitic NPC we meet earlier, claim the body of the Doctor as his own. Then we see something falling from the sky, the time machine appearing in a new area, with Steven showing up, and the words, "The End," with a question mark, indicating that there's gonna be more to our story. So after this long, strange journey, where do we stand? Mewgenics has a story that is still constantly unfolding, whether that be the journey of your cats or the lore of the game. Even as I think I've seen it all, I know there are items that I haven't unlocked, endings that I haven't reached, maybe even a secret final boss that will recontextualize everything. I went in expecting a funny little cat game, but I came out obsessing over the grand mystery of Boone County. The beauty of a game this deep and bizarre is that two people can play for hours and come away with completely different stories and interpretations. Mewgenics may be a game about breeding the ultimate cat, but in the end we find ourselves intrigued by the colorful cast of people and the world that it's built. And whatever the truth may be, one thing's for sure, Mewgenics is a genuine mystery worth investigating.